All right, so a very warm good afternoon to every one of you. A very warm good afternoon to every one of you, my dear friends. So, yes, I welcome everyone back to Oliveboard, my dear friends, and today we shall be discussing, okay, and today we shall be discussing the another major topic for the GSGK portion, and that is going to be the mountains, okay. So it is a domain means it is a topic of the geography portion wherein the examination. See, what I'll be doing is that I'll be uploading one particular document. This document from this document we shall be understanding on the mountains, and then there is going to be this document which I shall be uploading for you guys. Okay, I shall be uploading for you guys. All right. A very warm good afternoon, Ashok. Okay, so I will upload this document. Now, what I can assure you is that if you read this document, you will have that much of confidence, okay, that you can be able to solve the questions, and whatever questions the examination asks, you will be able to solve it in a confident manner. Okay, I'm not telling that this is the only document, okay, from where the examination will ask. I never make such claims, but I can assure you this much, that if you do this document, your confidence is going to be at a very peak level, and because of that particular confidence, your answers, okay, you will be writing those answers in accuracy. Okay, so whatever I am explaining here, those particular things, they are there in the particular PDF as well. Okay, so we shall be discussing on that now. When we are talking on the mountains, my dear friends, so here in the mountains, okay, so what do we understand is that the first understanding here is going to be in the context that whenever we talk on the mountains, the examination up till now, it has been asking questions pertaining to, whenever we talk on the mountains, the various facts. Examination has been asking questions that which are the highest hills, which are the highest peaks, okay, which are the mountain passes, and in which mountain are there the various passes. Then they are going to ask which rivers are associated with which mountain areas, then which mountains they were there in which states. So up till now, this was routine questions that the examination used to ask. However, because the examination has moved towards a conceptual type of questions, now what the examination will ask, okay, is what is the factors for the formation of the mountains. Okay, then which are the various categories of the mountains? Then in India, which categories are there? Then which mountain ranges has what type of climatology? Which mountain ranges has what type of soils? Which mountain ranges has what type of vegetation? Okay. Then there is going to be which mountain ranges, okay, are going to be geopolitically important. That means the mountains that are bod I'm sorry, the mountains which are bordering the areas of Myanmar, Nepal, Bhutan. So they, because in today's time the geopolitical international relations, they are very much in the heat. So examination can correlate. So try to understand that up till now the examination, it used to ask questions pertaining to these the facts. But now the examination will ask you facts with correlation with the conceptual understanding. So that is what is the main level. Okay, the facts, you can also read the facts from here. Okay, my agenda is not to teach you facts. My agenda is to teach you the way of thinking in which you can, even if you do not know that much of the topic, yet you can be able to solve those particular questions. So that is what my agenda is generally here. So when we talk in this particular domain, what do we understand here? What do we understand here? That when we are talking, so let us start with the mountains. Now, in the mountains, the first aspect is that we can associate the mountains on the basis, means we can classify the mountains on the basis of their location. So, when we are talking on these particular mountains, how can we classify? The first is that The mountains that are found in the oceanic areas, they are known as the oceanic mountains. Now, even in the oceanic areas, where are they generally found? So they are going to be found in the continental shelves and in the ocean floors. That means the continental shelves are what? They are going to be those extended land areas near the coast of the continent. Means when you go in the water from the coast, slowly and slowly you go into deep waters. So that land that is below the water near the continent, that is known as continental shelf. And then there is going to be the deep ocean, the deep ocean's base, that is known as oceanic floors. So mountains, they are found in both areas. The second aspect of mountains is found in the continental areas, and the mountains that are found in the continental areas, they are known as coastal mountains, one that are found in the coastal areas. Another is inland mountains, one that is found in the within the continent. For example, there is going to be the coastal mountains we talk. So there is going to be Rockies, okay, Appalachians, Alpines, and the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Whereas when we talk about inland mountains, they are going to be the Himalayas, Satpuras, Vindhyas. Then there are the northeastern mountains. So all of these mountains, they are inland mountains, okay, such as them. Examination could ask you this: match the following. So this is one thing. Then apart from that, when we talk on the oceanic mountains, very good Ashok. It is due to volcanic means mountains are also due to volcanic eruptions. I'll be explaining on that context also. Now, the next aspect is the oceanic mountains. Okay, so we now know that on the coastal mountains and on the inland mountains. The second is on the oceanic mountains. Now, the mountains that are found on the floors of the ocean, and one of the highest such mountains is going to be the Mauna Kea. Okay, where is the Mauna Kea? It is going to be near the Hawaii. That is the near the USA. Near the USA, it is going to be there. There is also one particular mountain near the Hawaii which is known as the Mauna Loa. Just remember this, Mauna Loa. This Mauna Loa, it is a type of shield volcanic mountain, and it is one of the highest mountains that are going to be there. So this is known as the oceanic mountains, the mountains that are found in the oceans. Now, when we talk on the continental mountains, okay, so what do we understand? Not specifically continental, but I'm telling it to you in a manner so that you understand it. So one understanding that we have is the mountains. We can categorize the mountains. One is on the basis of location. Another is on the basis of their formation. So the formation can also be based on the location. But when we talk specifically on the formation, that how these particular mountains have been formed. So on that formation aspect, we can divide it in tectonic mountains, or we can divide it in erosional mountains. For example, when we are talking on the tectonic mountains, okay, what is tectonic mountains? So we are very much well aware that the earth, okay, if this is the surface of the earth, this is the center of the earth, that is radius, and it is somewhat 6,345 kilometers, something of that much. Okay, it is going to vary. Now, when we talk here, there is the topmost layer, it is the crust, then there is the mantle, and then there is the core. The core is divided into outer core, and then is inner core. When we talk on the crust, the topmost layer of the crust is known as lithosphere, the topmost layer. Now, this particular topmost layer of the crust is known as lithosphere. So, here there are various types of plates. One is continental plate, another is oceanic plate. Very good, Ashok. One is oceanic plate. Now, these continental and oceanic plates, they are rigid plates, and they are not static. They are moving every point of time. They are going to be dynamic. Now, because of their dynamism, what happens is they tend to collide with each other. And in that collision, what happens is that there is going to be certain reactions. Now, when two plates are going to collide, Okay, means because of the plate tectonics, now this movement and activities of the plate is known as tectonism, plate tectonics. So when we are talking on these tectonics, so what happens is that when when there is two continental plates, continental collision happens, so it leads to the creation of fold mountains. And one of the famous fold mountains is going to be the Himalayas. The Himalayas, it is going to be a collision of the Indian plate and the Eurasian plate. Indian plate and the Eurasian plate. So this is going to be there. Now, here when we talk, this is the fold mountain. Now, what is known as a block mountain? The block mountain, it is going to be basically because of the, you know, various earthquakes or something happening. Because of that, when some mountain like things are going to be created, they are known as block mountains. When we talk on those block mountains, what can we understand here? When we talk on the block mountains, what do we understand? I'll just write it here only. Okay, so here, for example, if this is a land area, okay, original land area. Now, if there is a earthquake wave that is earthquake, if this area is impacted by earthquake, what happens is that now the new, okay, the new area, the new surface, because of that earthquake wave, it is going to lead to a lot of devastation. Because of that, some area it got up, upward, and some area it got submerged. So the upwarded area, it is going to be known as horst, and the submerged area, it is going to be known as graben. The horst, it can also be known as block mountain. Okay. Whereas the graben, that is the submerged area, it can also be known as the Rift Valley. The Rift Valley. For example, the most famous Rift Valley in India, it is known as the Narmada Rift Valley, because it is from the submerged portion that the river Narmada it is going to be flowing. That is what we know. So here, that is the block mountain. That is the upwarded area, that is the host. So just remember, this is going to be their block mountain. Then there is the volcanic mountain. Now, how does a volcanic mountain get created? Is because of oceanic plate conversions. Now, what happens? Just remember this. Whenever the oceanic plate convergence or oceanic continental, okay, oceanic or oceanic continental plate convergence happens. So because of that, what happens is, if I just tell you, so here when or oceanic continental or oceanic, when this happens, so the oceanic plate, it is going to get submerged. And whenever we talk, the more deeper we go, there is going to be an increase in temperature. So what happens is that here, when the oceanic plate it collides with the continental plate, it gets submerged, and because of that, here it is going to get destroyed because of the high heat, and this material it is going to come up and it is going to emerge like a volcano. Now, when it emerges like a volcano, so here there is going to be a volcanic mountain which is created on the continent. So that is a volcanic mountain. Similarly, when oceanic plates, that means where oceanic is there, ocean, for example, Pacific and Atlantic plate, when they are going to collide with each other, okay, so the lighter one is going to go down, and once again the destruction, once again within the water only there is going to be volcano, and because of that a volcanic mountain is going to happen. Okay, so this is going to be known as the volcanic mountains. Very good, Ashok. Very good. The lighter one goes down. Okay, so this is the tectonic plates. When we talk about the erosional plates, so what do we understand here? In the erosional plates, that means that there was already a mountain initially. Because of the erosion, what happens is that some portion of that mountain is going to get eroded, and the remaining portion of that mountain is going to be known as the relict mountain. Okay, so they are the residual mountains. Residual means the eroded leftover portions. For example, the Aravali's. The Aravali's, they are the leftover portions that are there. Okay, so just remember that. Now, this is what we understand, and here I've given you the various, here I've given you, the various information on examination can ask you the match the following. That is the reason I've added these here. Okay, that which mountains are fold, which are volcanic, and which are block. So that is one thing. You can, I have already added this information here. Okay, so you can read it up. All right, later on. Now, when we talk on the mountains of India, so what do we understand on the mountains of India? That in the Indian mountain ranges, okay, so there is going to be the whole of the Indian mountain ranges that is going to be divided into various mountain. That means it is going to have various mountains in India. Now, for example, there is the Himalayas, which is going to be in this manner, okay, here. And then it is going to be going on the top portion, and then it is going to be coming on the downward portion. So the Himalayas is basically moving like this, okay, and then it is coming down. So here, all right, so this is how the Himalayas movement is going to be there. So we know that in the India, the major mountains when we talk, so this is the Himalayas here in the northern part. Then here there is going to be the Aravallis. Okay, Aravallis. Then here there is going to be the Western Ghats. Here there is going to be the Eastern Ghats. Okay, in this portion we have the northeastern the Arakan Yoman in the Malay and the Burma area, that is the Myanmar area. All right. So this is how the major mountains are going to be there. Then in between there is going to be the Vindhyas, and then there is going to be the Satpuras. Okay, so Vindhyas and Satpuras. So this is what we understand. These are the major mountains that are going to be there. Now you majorly need to know on these mountain ranges only. Now here one basic thing. There is a difference between the mountain and mountain ranges. Now what is a mountain range? A mountain range, it is a series of various mountains accumulated together. For example, Himalayas. So Himalayas, it is a series of mountains that is going to be there. Okay, and that is going to be accumulated together. All right, so that is the mountains. Okay, then here similarly there is the Aravalli. Now here even in the Aravalli and Himalayas there are going to be various mountains, or they can also be known as hills. When they are combined together, they are known as a range. So these are the important ranges that we have spoken about right now. Now, within these ranges, there are going to be multiple mountains that are going to be there. Yes, very good, Ashok. They are the series of mountains. So, here when we talk, so there are going to be multiple hills. Now, see, examination up till now, it used to ask that which are the important hills of this mountain range or that mountain range, like that. But I'm not telling that the examination will not ask that now. But the examination, it has evolved. So you need to go much more deeper in the formation, that how these mountain ranges have formed, what are the rock compositions here, what are the major features of these particular mountains. That is what you need to know. And that everything I have compiled it in the PDF itself that I shall be providing to you. What I'll do is I'll get this PDF uploaded. Just one moment. Just one moment, guys. Okay, so I've added the PDF. Ashok, my dear friend, just kindly check and let me know. Just check and let me know whether you found the PDF. Everyone has found it. Okay, so it is already there. It is already there. Okay, all right. Now, okay, so here you have a particular question. What is the difference between the mountain, hill, and peak? Now, see, the basic idea is that the basic difference only I'll tell you. Here the mountains, they are going to be, bigger in size. They are going to be steeper in area, steeper and slopes, and they are going to be big. Whereas the hill is going to be comparatively a smaller one, and hillock is going to be a much smaller one. So, if I have to explain you this, so this is known as hillock. This will be known as hill, and this will be known as mountain. So the mountain is here, the hill, it is going to be approximately 600 meters in height. Okay, whereas the particular mountain, it is going to be beyond 600 meters in height. Okay, so that is going to be there. That is going to be there. I'm a student. Okay, Aditya. Yes, yes. It will be, it is understandable, right, Aditya? So, yes. So this is the basic difference, just the magnificence. For example, you can just take, the Himalayas and some of the hills that might be there located near to your area. So here, now what you have to do is that you have to majorly focus on these portions of this particular, mountain ranges. Now, when we talk initially, let's start with the one of the most important mountain ranges, that is going to be the Himalayan mountain ranges. Now these are what? The Himalayas, they are going to start from the area of Pamir Knot, okay, which is going to be known as the Tibetan plateau. And in the western area, you can also find the Suleiman and Kirthar, the Suleiman and Kirthar ranges here. So it is basically from the POK, means beyond the POK, it is going to be starting, and it is somewhat approximately 2500 to 3000 kilometers ranges. So here from west till the east, it is approximately 2800 something. So you can the length is yet varying. Why? Because we do not have the accurate data. Why? Because of the geopolitical issues, the border issues that is there. So here when we talk on this particular Himalayas, now how was the Himalayas created? Just understand this. Okay, so if I have to explain this Himalayas to you, so just see. Here there was the Eurasian plate, which was a land plate. That means a continental plate. Then here there was the Indian plate, which was originally in the southern hemisphere, and it was also continental plate. Here in between there was one sea that was known as the Tethys Sea. Now what happened is that because of the Indian plate and Eurasian plate coming together, what did I tell you? The oceanic continental, whenever it will happen. So here the Tethys Sea it was there, so somewhat of the oceanic aspect was there. So initially there is going to be, when the Indian plate is moving towards the Eurasian plate, what happens is that there is going to be Tethys seas. Okay, it is going to be clashing with the Eurasian plate, and because of that, the first set of ranges, that is the volcanic ranges, they are going to be created is known as the Kara Koram ranges. They are going to be the particular Karakoram ranges because of and that is why they are known as the volcanic mountains. Now, when the Karakoram was created, after that the Tethys Sea, okay, it was submerged, but but whatever sediments and all of those things of the Tethys Sea it was there, it got, if for example, if I'll tell you. if this is going to be the Eurasian plate, okay, and the Himalayas are going to come, sorry, the Indian plate is going to come, so Indian plate like that. All right, so here there was the sediments of the Tethys Sea. Majority of the Tethys Sea it got destroyed, because of which what happened? The volcanic mountains created. Is it not clear? Is the audio not clear, guys? I thought the audio was clear up till now. Ashok, Arif, let me know please on that. Now, okay, so it is clear. All right. So, Marks, just what you do is just refresh your page. Okay, just refresh it. So, what do we understand here is that the Tethys Sea, majority of the Tethys Sea area, it was submerged, but little bit sediments of the Tethys Sea, it is going to be there. Now, when this sediments it is going to be there, what happens is that the more collision it is going to happen, the sediments of the Tethys Sea it is going to be then deposited on the Himalayas. Okay, and that is how the Himalayas they were created. For example, if I show this to you, okay, so the earliest of the Himalayas that is going to be the Trans Himalayas. So because of the convergence, when here the Tethys Sea deposits were there, so because of the convergence when the Himalayas Trans Himalayas were created, so little bit sediments they were here also. Means the Trans Himalayas they originally were created because of the Tethys Sea's volcanic eruptions. Later on, the more closer they came, so the earliest one was the Trans Himalayas, which was created, and then the more closer they were coming, the more another ranges of the Himalayas were being created. So like that, the earliest creation is going to be the Trans Himalayas. Then after the Trans Himalayas, one of the highest, Himalayan ranges are going to be created. They are known as the Great Himalayas, also known as Himadri. Then after that, after the Great Himalayas were created, then there is the Lesser Himalayas, that is Middle Himalayas. They are also known as Middle Himalayas. Then there is going to be the Shivalik ranges, okay, which are the most youngest of the ranges. So if I talk to you on this aspect, the Himalayas they were created approximately 40 to 50 million years ago, and from this the earliest is going to be the Trans Himalayas, and which can also be known as the Karakoram ranges. After that, the Great Himalayas created, Himadri. They are going to have one of the highest peaks. For example, the Everest and all, they are going to be here. Okay, then there is the Lesser Himalayas, that is you know, the Middle Himalayas, and then there is the Outer Himalayas, that is Shivalik. So just understand the chronology. So the youngest one in the Himalayas, which are to be created, they are the Shivaliks. The youngest one was Shivaliks. So when we talk on these mountain ranges, here what you can see is that examination, what it would ask you. Examination, it would ask you that which are the various mountains that are going to be there between these particular Himalayan ranges. For example, there is going to be the Karakoram mountain. Then between the Karakoram and the Great Himalayas, which mountains are going to be there? Which mountain ranges are going to be there? Okay, so like that, the examination would ask it to you. Now, here if I just show this to you, here, when we are talking of the Himalayas, so we know that Himalayas here it is divided into three different, ranges. All right. Then there is going to be the greater, the middle, the outer, and the Trans Himalayas. Now, when we talk of the Trans Himalayas, here I have written some of the details, but I will just tell you what. Now, see here, what you can see is there is going to be the all of the factual aspect. Okay, all of the factual aspect is going to be there. Now, one thing that I want to mention here, as we know that the Himalayas are going like this, okay, and then they are coming down. So, the Himalayas, they generally have what? The Himalayas, they generally have two syntaxical bends. Himalayas, they generally have two syntaxical bends. Now, which are these two? It is going to be the first syntaxical bend, it is going to be in the Nanga Parbat. Then the second syntaxical bend, it is going to be, means the bend in the Himalayas. It is going to be there where? It is going to be there in the area of Namcha Barwa, that is going to be in Arunachal Pradesh area. And then it goes down, and here it is known as the Arakan Yoma. Arakan Yoma Hills. So here, now this Himalayas, when we talk, these Himalayas itself, it can be divided into here. Okay, the first aspect is that we understood the Himalayas division in the aspect of the Karakoram, Himadri, Himachal, or the middle Himalayas and Shivalik. So this is what? This is the, latitudinal division that we have within the Himalayas, the latitudinal division from north to south. Now, when we talk individually of these particular latitudinal divisions, let us talk individually. So the first one is that here, see, I've written the other details. It is nearly 25,000 kilometers in length from east to west, and then it is in the width, that is from north to south. We can say that it is from 160 to 400 kilometers. Which are the countries that are going to be covered? Apart from that, here, how it was created. Okay, so here you can see that how it was created because of the continental convergence. Okay, so that is one major understanding. Here, what do we understand when we talk of the Karakoram ranges? Okay, so here are some basic facts. So the Karakoram ranges, they are also known as the Karakoram ranges, they are going to be also known as what? They are going to be also known as the Krishnagiri range. Just one moment. I guess. All right. Okay. Okay. So yes. Okay. So it is also known as what? It is also known as the Krishnagiri range. And okay. Um, the most highest peak that is going to be here in the Karakoram, it is known as the K2, also known as Goodwin Austin. Then there is the okay. So here it is there. All right. So here I have written some additional data also, some additional facts. So let us move ahead now. Now after the Karakoram, there is going to be another set of mountains, that is the Great Himalayas, also known as the Himadri. Now here what do we see is that majority of the composition of the of the rocks and sediments that are going to be here. What are they going to be of? They are going to be associated with the granites and gneiss, and they are going to be associated with sediments. So basically the Himalayas, they are going to have what? They are going to have consolidated and semi-consolidated sediments, the sedimental deposits. Now on the syntaxical bends, I have already mentioned where is the syntaxical bends that are going to be there. Now this is what? This is a particular map of the highest mountain ranges that are going to be there. So in the world level, Everest is going to be one of the highest. Then there is going to be the K2. Now Everest is going to be there in the Tibetan area. Kanchenjunga is the highest mountain that is going to be there. Okay, that is going to be there, and it is also going to be in the on the Himalayas and on the bordering areas of the Tibet and on the bordering areas of Nepal and India. You can, what you can do is that you can go through this on the highest peaks like that. You can just go through that. You can read this up and you can mug it up basically. When we talk on the Himalayas, there are some other additional facts that are going to be there. Okay. So, so here what you can do is here you can read this particular thing up. Okay, so it is all factual. It is all factual. The only requirement here was the conceptual analysis. Now when we talk on the conceptual analysis, what do we understand here? Okay, that that after the Himadri areas, after the greater Himalayas, then there is going to be the middle Himalayas. These particular middle Himalayas, they are going to be the areas where the people are going to be residing in those areas. Guys, is my audio slower? Is my audio slow? Is my audio slow? Just let me know on that, please. I'm thinking that my audios are generally, the volume is less. Do you think that the volume is less? Mm. Let me know on that, please. All right. So, just one moment. I'll just reconnect it. Mhm. Okay, so when I'm moving away from the mic, the volume is going down. All right. Okay, so I guess now it would not be there. Now I guess it would be clear. Okay. So all right. Then guys, a year when we are talking on the, on the another portion of this particular mountains. Okay. So later on, what do we understand is that these particular Himalayas, okay, these particular middle or lesser Himalayas, that is they are going to be the third mountain ranges. They are going to be the third mountain ranges that are going to be created after the Himadris. Now, when we talk here, okay, so what do we understand? Their most important aspect is that they are going to be known by various names. They are going to be known by various other names in the other areas. And when I talk about the various other names, when they are known, so what are they known? They are known by, okay, they are going to be known as the Pir Panjal range in the Jammu and Kashmir, Dhauladhar in the Himachal, Masuri and Nagatibba in the Uttarakhand, and Mahabharat Lake in the Nepal. So all of this, whenever you are going to read all these names, so every time you are going to associate yourself with the middle Himalayas. Okay, now it is on these middle Himalayas only that there is going to be the, various hill stations that are going to be located here. For example, there is going to be Shimla, Mussoorie, and all of these particular ones. Okay, so that is one major aspect that you need to get aware about. All right, then there is going to be the third and the most important Himalayas, and the last Himalayas that is going to be there, apart from the Trans Himalayas, the Greater Himalayas, the Middle Himalayas, and then the Shivaliks. They are going to be the youngest of the Himalayas that are created, and it is these particular Himalayas, okay, that are going to be the lowest in height. They are going to be the lowest in height. Now it is here in these Himalayas that we are going to find that there is going to be the concept of dunes. The concept of dunes. Okay, and one of them is majorly known as what? As Dehradun. Now, what are these dunes? These dunes, they are going to be the areas that are going to be of very much high productivity. All right, and these dunes, they are going to be the areas where once there was accumulation of water, but later on the waters are going to leave that particular area, and there is going to be a new landform that is going to be created, and that is known as the dunes. All right. Much more things are associated with that. That is tea plantation and everything. That means these are fertile because of which tea plantation and all happen. So like Dehradun, there are various types of dunes that are going to be there. Okay, in this particular Shivalik belt. Now, when we talk about the regional names of the Shivalik in Jammu, Arunachal, Uttarakhand, and Nepal, they are going to be known by these particular names. So, if you talk about the mountain ranges in the Arunachal Pradesh area. So you are going to see Dafla, Mirhi, Abhor, Mishmi. So these are the various hills that are going to be there in the particular area of, okay, they are going to be there in the particular area of Arunachal Pradesh. All right, so this is what we know as the Shivaliks. Now, one thing that I want to tell you, that the Shivaliks, they are not going to be there from the east till the west. It is not going to be there for the whole 2,500 kilometers. No. So there are going to be areas where the Shivaliks are going to be absent. Okay, the areas where Shivaliks are going to be absent. Also, one more thing I want to tell you, that whenever we talk on the Himalayas, whenever we are talking on the Himalayas, so in these particular Himalayas, the western portion here, this particular western portion, it is going to be associated with what? It is associated with the snow. It is associated with cold. So here this area is generally covered in the colder, means the snowy areas, whereas it is the northeastern Himalayas which is not associated with cold. Why? Because of the latitude. Why? Because of the latitude. Okay, so here what do we see is that the northeastern Himalayas, they are very much good in flora and fauna. So they are very high in vegetation, the northeastern Himalayas. So here what do we see is that a lot more biodiversity is found in this particular area. Moreover, this particular area, the northeastern Himalayas, they are going to have a equatorial type of climate. Remember this, equatorial type of climate. So if I tell you in the Indian subcontinent, where do we have a equatorial type of climate? It is going to be in the western part of the Western Ghats area. Then it is going to be on the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Then it is going to be in the northeastern Himalayas. Okay, so this is going to be the aspect between the difference between both of the west and the eastern Himalayas. Okay, so just keep that thing in mind. Moreover, now when we talk the greatest of the heights of the Himalayas, they are going to be in these areas. That is in the central part of the Himalayas. Why? Because it was this region that took a lot of time to grow in height. So that is why we are finding the Everest and everything in this particular locations. Okay, so just remember that. Then after the Himalayas, now this is the longitudinal division we looked into the Himalayas. Now moreover, when we are talking about the other categories, the other divisions of the Himalayas, so Himalayas, they can be divided into, we looked into the latitudinal divisions. Now Himalayas can be divided into longitudinal divisions as well. Now, what longitudinal divisions? That means this is the Jammu Himalayas, this is the Himachal Himalayas, this is the Nepal Himalayas, this is the Sikkim Himalayas, or Arunachal Pradesh Himalayas. How come? Because all of these areas, Okay, the Himalayas, they are going to have various people residing in them. They have different cultures, different way of life. So based on that, what we can do is we can basically divide. Okay, we can basically divide. So that is what we generally understand here. So now when we talk on this particular categorization, okay, here also I've written that same thing. Okay, you can just find it here. Now, when we look at this categorization, now the examination, what would it ask you? Examination, it would ask you that the Kashmir or Punjab Himalayas, they are found from which river to which river? From Satluj to Kali, which is the Himalayas? From Kali to Teesta, which is the Himalayas? And from Teesta to Diang, which is the Himalayas? So this can also be known as Assam Himalayas, Arunachal Pradesh Himalayas, or Sikkim Himalayas. Kumaon can also be known as Himachal Himalayas. Okay, it can also be known as Himachal Himalayas. So just keep that thing in mind. Now, here what happens is that the people here have a different culture, different way of life, and that is why we are doing this longitudinal divisions. Okay, so that is one major aspect. The latitudinal was Karakoram, Himadri, then the middle and the Shivaliks. All right. So here there are going to be the various features of these particular Himalayas. So what are the Punjab Himalayas? So here the examination would ask you, whenever I'm talking on the Himalayas, I'll just tell you the basics here, and the rest facts you can read it here. So for example, here in the Himalayas, okay, here when I show this to you here, okay, so here what you can see is that in between the Karakoram in between the Karakoram and the Greater Himalayas, which are the ranges that lie. So it is going to be the Ladakh range, the Zanskar range, it is going to lie. The Kailash range is an extension of the of the Ladakh range. And then there is going to be the further ranges in the Nepal. So examination will ask you between Karakoram and Greater, which are the ranges here. Okay. Then there is going to be the Pir Panjal. So Ladakh, Zanskar, and then there is it is, okay, wait, just one moment. Okay, so yes, all right. So here the examination it would ask you this. All right, that is the ranges that are going to be there between these particular mountains. So similarly here what you can see is that there are that is which are the ranges that are going to be there between these particular areas. Then some other important facts on the Himalayas which I have already mentioned it here. Okay, so you can read this up. You can read this up. Then there is the Eastern Himalayas on the longitudinal. Okay, on the longitudinal division, it is going to be there. All right. Now, when we move south of it, so then there is going to be the Aravali ranges. Recently, this was a mountain range that is going to be there totally in news because of the mining rules that the government had brought up. All right. So here also see, I have done this. What I'll do is I'll also, if possible, I'll get this also uploaded. Now, when we talk on the Aravlis, so where are the Aravlis? So the Aravlis, they are going to be in this particular range. So from Gujarat till the Delhi area, the Aravlis are going to be there. Now they are the relict or the residual mountains, also considered to be one of the oldest mountain ranges in the whole of the Indian subcontinent. Okay, so they are relict or residual. Why? Because of erosion, only this much has been left here. So that is one thing. Now, they had been formed during the Archean era. The Archean era, according to the geological time scale, it is one of the oldest time scale that is going to be there. The oldest time period that is going to be there. The highest peak of this particular mountain range is going to be known as Guru Shikhar, and the most important aspect is the composition of the rocks that are going to be there in this particular area. So they are the igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, and that is the reason that they have the largest marble deposits. Marble, it is the type of which rock? It is the type of metamorphic rock. Now, whenever we are talking about rocks, okay, there are three types of rocks. One is igneous rocks, okay, then there is sedimentary rocks, and then there is metamorphic rocks. Sedimentary is found where? In the Himalayas. Okay. Then there is the igneous and metamorphic, they are also found here. Igneous is the rock that is found near the volcanic areas. Okay, the volcanic areas, just keep that thing in mind. Now, this is going to be the Aravali ranges. So, a little bit extra information on the Aravali, that is which are the various other informative facts. I have mentioned it here, so you can go through it. Okay, then the Aravali ranges, they are said to be somewhat around 200 billion years old. So, obviously, the rocks, they are also going to be of that particular time period. Okay, the rocks, which are going to be the rocks, then apart from that, which are the rivers that are going to be here, which are the important lakes that are going to be here. So this is what I have written it. Then there is going to be the Vindhyan range. So when we talk on the Vindhyan range, so what is going to be? In the north there is going to be the Vindhyas, in the south there is going to be the Satpuras, and in between there was a rift valley, that is the Narmada. I have already explained to you on the Horst and the Graben aspect. Okay, so when we are talking about the Vindhyas, so this particular Vindhyas, it is going to run from Gujarat to Bihar. It is a block mountain, as we have already spoken on. The most important is going to be this. Okay, the kimberlite deposits, it is known for diamonds. Okay, the extraction of diamonds. So this area, it is very much well known for the kimberlite deposits, that is going to be the diamonds. Similarly, then there is going to be the Satpura ranges. Now here when we are talking about the Satpura ranges, so what happens is that there are going to be various, hills that are going to be there in the Satpura ranges. What the examination will do is that the examination, it will ask you various questions pertaining to examination will ask you the various questions pertaining to the north. Now just keep this thing in mind. Okay, what the examination will ask from east to west. For example, in the Vindhyan ranges, which are going to be the ranges that are going to be there. Okay, so Satamala, Kaimur, Mailan. Okay, they'll ask you from east to west. Then similarly, they will also ask you for the Satpura ranges. For example, okay, Gwahilgarh, Mahadev, Maikal, Ramgarh, Rajmahal. Okay, Gwahilgarh, Mahadev, Maikal, Ramgarh, Rajmahal. So this is what the examination will ask you from east to west. Sorry, from west to east or east to west. That is what examination can do. Moreover, examination can ask you from north to south. That is which are the hills from north to south. For example, Nalla, Nallamalai, Javdi, Chevroy, okay, and Cardamom. These are the famous one: Nallamalai, Javdi, Chevroy, and Cardamom hills. So they'll ask it to you from north to south. So this is how the examination will ask you. Then they'll ask you that Nallamalai is a part of which Ghats? Is it of the Eastern Ghats? So here we know that this is what? This is Eastern Ghats. Here there is going to be the Western Ghats. So we are very much well aware on this. So examination will ask this. Now here what is there is the various peaks that are going to be the most important peaks that are there. So you can very well understand this. You can very well read this. Basically mug it up kind of thing. Okay, this is going to be like that. Now here then when we talk, okay, apart from the eastern and the western Ghats, here further what you can see is a tabular format information has been added, and this tabular format information is associated with, which are the important ranges that are there, what is the important location, what are the location and most important fact associated with that particular location or the particular mountain range. Okay, so I believe that you can very well do this. This is for your revision kind of. The initial one was for the conceptuality. Okay, then this is going to be for your revision. This is going to be for your revision. So here, this is the tabular format, and all the mountain ranges of India, all the mountains, hills, peaks, they are going to be covered here. All right, it is in this document majorly it is covered. So if you just go through this document, it will be very much sorted for you. And this is a wholly factual document, guys. It is a wholly factual document. Okay, the only thing that was important is going to be the formation of the Himalayas. Apart from that, it is a factual one and you can very well read it up. Okay, so we'll be keeping that much for this particular session. Is it clear, my dear friends? Is it clear? Is it clear, everybody? Okay, so you just read this document up. Okay, it is a factual one, and if you have any doubt, you can let me know on that then. Okay, so we'll keep that much for this session. All right, so kindly just read it up, and I'll see you up in the next session. All right, so bye bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Take care. Bye, Ashok, and bye, Arif. So take care, everyone. Thank you, and Jai Hind, my dear friends. Bye bye, everyone. Bye.